Have you ever looked at someone who seemed so close to God and quietly wondered, why can't I be like that? Why does prayer come so easily for them while I struggle just to open my Bible? If you've ever felt that way, today's story is for you. This is the story of Angela, a woman who desperately wanted to become a woman of God but believed she would never measure up. Angela had grown up hearing about God. She knew the Bible stories. She attended church on Easter, Mother's Day, and Christmas. She believed God existed, but knowing about God and knowing Him personally were two very different things. By the age of 48, Angela's life looked successful from the outside. She had a respectable job, a comfortable home, two grown children, friends who admired her. But inside, she carried burdens no one knew about. She struggled with anger, self-doubt, and rejection. She held on to unforgiveness for things that had happened years earlier. She worried constantly about things real and not real. She compared herself to everyone around her and always came up lacking. And every night before falling asleep, one question echoed through her mind. Can God really love someone like me? One Sunday morning, she visited a small church after a coworker invited her. She almost turned around in the parking lot. She didn't feel holy enough. She didn't own the right clothes. She didn't know enough scripture. She was convinced everyone inside would somehow know she was a failure. Instead, she was greeted with warm smiles. No one asked about her past. No one questioned her mistakes. For the first time in years, she felt welcomed. That morning, the pastor said something she would never forget. God doesn't call perfect people. He perfects the people He calls. Those words settled deep into Angela's heart. Could that really be true? Determined to change, Angela decided she was finally going to become a good Christian. She bought a beautiful leather Bible, a prayer journal, highlighters, devotional books. She even set her alarm an hour early every morning so she could spend time in prayer. The first week went wonderfully. She prayed every day, read several chapters of scripture, listened to worship music during her commute. She felt inspired, hopeful, different. Then real life happened. She overslept, missed her quiet time. Work became stressful. An argument with her sister reopened old wounds. Before long, she found herself yelling, complaining, worrying, and feeling guilty all over again. She looked in the mirror one evening and whispered, "I'll never be a woman of God." A few days later, an older woman named Ruth noticed Angela sitting alone after Bible study. Ruth quietly sat beside her. "You look troubled." Angela finally broke down. "I keep trying to be a better Christian, but I keep failing. I lose my temper. I worry. I doubt. I don't pray enough. I don't read enough. I don't think God is pleased with me." Ruth smiled gently. "Who told you becoming a woman of God was about never failing?" Angela looked confused. "I thought it's what everyone else was doing." Ruth laughed softly. "Oh dear, you're comparing your short story with everyone else's highlight reel." Then she opened her Bible. She pointed to the stories of Abraham, Moses, David, Peter. Each one had failed. Each one had doubted. Each one had made painful mistakes, yet God never abandoned them. "God isn't looking for flawless women," Ruth said. "He's looking for willing hearts." Those words changed everything. Angela stopped trying to impress God. Instead, she began learning to spend time with Him honestly. Her prayers changed. Instead of polished words, she simply said, "Lord, help me. I'm afraid. I'm angry. I don't understand. I'm struggling. And something beautiful happened. She discovered that God wasn't waiting for perfect prayers. He was listening to honest ones. Her transformation wasn't dramatic overnight. It happened quietly, one choice at a time. Instead of responding with anger, she paused and prayed. Instead of carrying bitterness, she chose forgiveness. Instead of believing every fearful thought, she replaced them with God's promises. Little by little, her heart began changing, not because she tried harder, but because she stayed closer to God. Months later, her daughter noticed something different. Mom, you seem peaceful. Angela smiled. I've finally stopped trying to earn God's love. Her daughter looked surprised. I thought Christians already knew that. Angela laughed. I knew it in my head. Now I'm learning it in my heart. Before we continue, write in the comments and let us know if you have ever doubted your worth. Then subscribe to our channel for more stories of faith. Angela's life didn't suddenly become perfect. Unexpected bills still came. Health scares still happened. Relationships still required work. There were still days when Angela stumbled, but now she knew something she hadn't understood before. Failure didn't separate her from God. It simply reminded her how much she needed His grace. One afternoon, she volunteered at the church food pantry. A young woman walked in with tears streaming down her face. I don't belong here, the woman whispered. I'm too broken. Angela smiled because she recognized those exact words. She gently took the woman's hand. Can I tell you a secret? The woman nodded. I used to believe the same thing, she said. She shared her story, not hiding her failures, not pretending she had everything together, just telling the truth about how God had patiently transformed her one day at a time. Before leaving, the young woman hugged Angela tightly. I think maybe God hasn't given up on me after all, Angela smiled through tears. No, sweetheart, He never did. Years passed. Angela became known as a wise mentor to younger women. People often complimented her faith. You've always been such a godly woman, they would say. She would quietly smile. Angela looked at her and said, if only you knew where God found me. Then she'd add, I'm still growing, because becoming a woman of God isn't something you finish. It's a lifelong journey. Every day we choose to trust Him again. Every day we surrender a little more. Every day His grace shapes us into the people He created us to be. Maybe today you feel like Angela once did. You keep trying, you keep falling, you wonder if God is disappointed. If that's you, hear this truth today. God is not waiting for you to become perfect before He loves you. He loves you now. He isn't asking for flawless performance. He's asking for your heart. The woman of God you long to become isn't created in a single moment. She's formed one prayer, one act of obedience, one lesson, one surrender, one day at a time. So don't give up because you stumbled yesterday. Don't believe the lie that you failed too many times. God specializes in transforming ordinary people into extraordinary testimonies. The journey may be slow. Some days will feel discouraging, but every step you take toward Him matters, because the closer you walk with God, the more you'll discover that becoming a woman of God isn't about proving your worth. It's about allowing His love to change you from the inside out. And that kind of transformation lasts forever. If this story encouraged your heart today, remember this: God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies those who answer His call. No matter where you are today, He is still writing your story. And perhaps your greatest chapter hasn't even begun yet. Now join us for more uplifting stories of faith by subscribing to our channel and visit our store. The link is in the description.